welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 12, After Show.
I have a lot to say. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this a little bit.
I do just want to say your hair looks so good.
Chris with the twist.
And I need y'all to comment on Chris's amazing hairstyle.
She's only saying that because she did it, y'all, okay? She wants y'all to comment on her, basically. It's all good, though. You could be Blair with the hair.
Okay.
And I'll be Chris with the twist.
All right.
Or Chris with the lisp.
Okay.
Whichever one. It doesn't matter to me. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So Frick and Frack are back together. Phaedra felt good coming back. She knew some of the girls, and Brit and Phaedra also share a best friend. Phaedra knows Ralph through their friend circles. Apparently, her old manager is his new manager, and it's the guy, not the girl with the big booty who we figured he was cheating with and get massages from. Phaedra says that Frick and Frack, or Porsha says Frick and Frack are two successful women who celebrate each other. When Porsha was in the group with the original ladies, she was the youngest in the group, and Porsha would tell her, just be the young bad bee that you are. Porsha talks about how, you know, there's all different types of pairings you can have with your friend group. You got Frick and Frack, and she says, Shamea says that we're Tom and Jerry.
I have a question. Can you give me a little backstory on the Frick and Frack? I didn't know that that's what their pairing was called. What is your thoughts on them as a pairing, as them as a unit?
I think with Frick and Frack, they were definitely about having a good time, laughing, just enjoying each other's company. But there was a lot of basically how I felt the Frick and Frack dynamic was Phaedra pulling Porsha's strings in order to get her to do things and activate things within the group.
Okay.
And to alienate certain people from Porsha as well. So that's how I viewed the Frick and Frack relationship.
Here's what I picture with this relationship. Mind you, I am new to this, not true to this, right? We knew, or at least we know, that Porsha and Shamea are best friends, right? Or maybe they were best friends. I don't know where they are today, right? But it just seemed like as soon as Phaedra came back, they over here doing, ride them. You know what I'm saying? They basically being so animated. And basically what I would picture as if my friend was to join the show. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It comes off as if it's like, this is my true best friend. This is my true ride or die partner.
I'll say they're funny together. Like, they're absolutely funny to watch together. But it definitely gets a little bit messy.
It gets a little bit messy. Dude, you know what this reminded me of?
What's that?
I'm the youngest out of three, right?
Yes.
I have an older brother that is 16 years older than me. I have an older sister that is 10 years older than me, right? And I remember when my sister was in high school and I was in elementary school, and she was around her cool friends. You get what I'm saying? Because she ran track. So she was around her cool friends. And I always wanted to tag along, right? But she always used to say, no. And then, times when my mother used to be like, take Chris with you. You get what I'm saying? I realized those times, now that I'm older, the times that she had to bring me with her, she really couldn't be herself.
Right.
Now, let's tag that on to what Porsha said, basically, allegedly said to Shamea in a couple episodes ago, where she was like, in order for me to be my true self with you, they got to pay me more. Talk about Bravo, right? I think Shamea is the tag-along friend. I think there is a misconception that maybe, Shamea is the best friend. And I understand that everybody since the early seasons been saying, hey, Shamea, Porsha been treating you wrong. She treats you unfair and things like that. She kind of treats you like she don't need you. She kind of treats you and puts you on the side. And now I'm seeing how she really is with Phaedra and things like that. She's laughing. She's animated and things of that nature. And now I'm like, oh, she could be herself with Phaedra. Because she's around her friends. She is around her co-workers or basically the ones who she view as equal compared to being around someone that she's really family with and she can't be herself. And I was like, dang, I feel bad for Shamea right here.
I don't know. I see it differently.
Help
I think
me.
that in Porsha, a lot of her relationships on the show, I think that she doesn't have to go deep with the ladies. So she's able to be the fun, airhead, silly, twerking girl.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to go any deeper than that.
Yeah.
But for Shamea, it kind of is like Shamea is requiring her to give more, and she doesn't want to do that.
But
and I'm not sick because I don't know necessarily if Porsha now, she's being herself because she's being around Phaedra. I think that Porsha's just like, me and her, we have a good laugh, a good kiki. I don't have to do much for this relationship.
But here's the thing about it, right? Okay. I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not saying that the roots are deeper with Phaedra and things like that. Because truth be told, I don't think Shamea requires anything deep at this moment. I think Shamea is doing everything in her power to show that she is funny. Well, I don't think she's that funny. That she's fun, that she's animated and things like that. It's coming off as corny to me. But I'm like, she's not even, like, her and Porsha's not even being, like, surface level fun at all during the season. And I'm like, okay, why can't they even be that? How come she can't basically be her Phaedra and things like that? It's like she's looking for that confidant, talk about Porsha. She's looking for that person that she could just have fun with. And I'm like, why can't you have fun with your best friend unless you really view her as the tag along that you have to bring along? That's probably why, allegedly, you didn't want her on the show, because you're like, Mom, I don't want to bring my sister on the show with me. You know what I'm saying? I want to have fun with Phaedra. Yeah. We have a whole group named Frickin' Frack. You get what I'm saying? Whole time, how come you ain't got a nickname with your real best friend? Well, I guess we're Tom and Jerry. Well, we're one beat up the mouse, or basically, or one beat up the cat the whole time.
Yeah,
like that's subtle shade. I don't know if y'all caught that. Tom and Jerry, which one are you, Porsha? Are you the one that's beating up the cat the whole time, or are you the one running away? So it's kind of sad to watch in real time, because I'm like, dag, maybe you really was the side best friend. I don't know.
So we talk about Porsha house hunting. She is talking about how with her and Simon, if the judge decided to enforce the prenup, she would be able to stay in the marital home in which Simon lives in. Okay. She didn't know what the judge would do, so she went house shopping just to see what was out there to calm her anxiety. She's having to reimagine her life, and this time she has a child. Last time she had a divorce, she didn't have a child.
Yeah.
I just like get annoyed when people bring their children into things, of course, where I feel like it's unnecessary. Like, yes, you are getting divorced with the child, but that is not Simon's child.
Not even close.
Dennis is there. He's in his child's life. So I don't know if she's trying to pull at someone's heartstrings about her not being around Simon, but that story really does nothing for me, honestly.
Here's the thing about it, right? To decipher all of this, Blair, number one, you're 100% right about that. That is not Simon's child. Y'all wasn't even married for 3 years. 2 years, I don't even think. Number two, the reason why you showed those houses or you house shopping on the show is not because you're preparing for the divorce or you don't know what's going to happen. You did it because you can't film in your house, so we got to show other millionaire houses. That's it. You have to show at least some type of luxury on your part as being the anchor and things of that nature. I heard an interview with Drew. I forgot who she did it with, so forgive me for not knowing who to give the credit to. But she did an interview, and she basically said, hey, Porsha's return to Real Housewives of Atlanta is flat. It fell flat. She couldn't deliver on what she said she could.
I think she said that with Carlos.
It was with another guy.
A different person? Oh, okay.
It was with a different guy because I would remember Carlos. But she said, hey, it fell flat. She couldn't deliver on what she said that she could and things like that. And it's like, is Drew the hero that we need? And that's kind of crazy for me to say that because I'm not the biggest Drew fan and things like that. It's not that I dislike her. I just don't think she's like a star in my eyes. But I'm like, is Drew becoming the hero that we all need, but we kind of like don't want? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
So Drew was shocked at Shamea's shade towards her song. Shamea was talking about how Drew doesn't speak 5 languages, even though the song was about love languages. Yeah. Drew really doesn't get what the issue is with Shamea and why they can't really sit down and have a conversation about it. Shamea says, honestly, any attention is good attention, so Drew should thank me. And Drew said, well, look, she knew the words, the melodies, so thank you for the promo.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't even know if I want to go first.
My only thing I want to say about that is like, Shamea, like you really are singing her song a lot, and to the point where you said y'all looked up the lyrics and the lyrics didn't say love languages, she did say that, and you said Drew needs to get her team on that. Well, Drew's working on a whole album. I don't think she needs to worry about some songs she did years ago and whether or not the lyrics is right on SoundCloud or whatever, Songbird or whatever it is.
Oh my goodness,
I sound like an old person.
I'm about to say it's okay.
Genius. There we go. But yeah, I was just like, Shamea is going a little bit too hard on this song and this situation with Drew, to where her calling you a lapdog, a lot of the ladies have called you that, and I think it hits a little bit more because Shamea knows it's true. She's going hard for Porsha, and Porsha would never go this hard for her.
For one, Drew is telling the truth for once.
Yeah.
Right? Let me draw a parallel to the two scenes that happened in this same season. Remember when Shamea and Angela was going at it? Mm-hmm. And Shamea actually brought an olive branch to basically be like, you know what? I don't want to be a mean girl. I don't want to be the type of girl that basically talk about another black woman's appearance and things like that, just to paraphrase. And she basically like, yeah, I don't want to do that. That did not sit right with me, right? Yeah. And at that moment, you can allude that, oh, Shamea's not. She's not a mean girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she
got some sense about her.
She cool. Mm-hmm. Like basically like she's cool. And that's really if you really look at how life is today, there are two types of people. There's the cool people and there's not the cool people. Mm. You know what I mean? At that moment, I was like, oh, Shamea's cool. That even something that I did not see as a big dig because y'all was going back and forth, you know, throwing jokes at each other. I was like, oh, the fact that she's willing to be like, you know, I'm sorry, cool. Now let's fast forward to now to where she has this fake beef with Drew, in my opinion, to impress Porsha, because there's literally no other logical reason that I really went through that makes sense. You went with this woman to the studio and things like that. You defended Porsha when Porsha did not need it to be defended, where Drew said her shade, as some people would say, but it wasn't big enough shade to where, oh my goodness, don't speak about Porsha daughter like that. It wasn't that big. Right. Drew didn't say it in malice type of way. She basically was big upping herself, saying that my album's going to be so successful, basically like, you don't want me to work with Dennis, but guess what? The money Dennis going to make off of this, your daughter going to go to college for free. That's basically what's the whole premise of it. It did not need Shamea to grab her sword and shield. So I say all that to ask this question. Shamea, are you a mean girl? Because it's coming off as if you're just being mean for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're nitpicking at her song to where she's basically saying, like, this is what Drew's saying. She said, I meant love languages. You know, that's basically the premise of the song. And now you want to argue this woman down, the writer, the singer, performer, and basically said, well, no, you did not say that. Mm-hmm. Do you know French? Do you know Spanish? Do you know? It's like, and
it looks like you're going down bad. Honestly, it's just like,
please
come on,
stop.
I was rooting for you.
Stop it, please. As I said before in the review, please check that out if you haven't. How you going to win if you ain't right within? And it's coming off as if you got some of that hate in your heart, right? It's coming off as if, oh, you and Porsha is the same side of the two sides of the same coin and things of that nature. To where it's like, oh, you just coming off as if you're trying to do everything to impress Porsha, because none of this, and Drew is clocking you, which is kind of crazy to say. She's clocking you. She said, like, I really don't see the issue that she have with me.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So we get to Brit's Country Club Classic events.
Oh, boy.
The Housewives had food, but the other guests didn't have food. Yeah. And pretty much all the ladies thought it was jacked up.
It was.
Cynthia was actually embarrassed for Brit for that. Yeah. And Kelly said, well, Brit is used to parties. She's not really used to events.
Did I say this? Did I say in the review, Blair, an epiphany hit me that, you know, Brit was the whips and pistols type of girl.
Yeah.
And she needed some type of rebranding within the season to show, like, you know what? I can be an uppity Real Housewife. You get what I'm saying? Whole time she forgot to provide the food.
Yeah.
That is not her element. She's used to those parties, and I'm talking about the parties that, like, you be in school and they hand out on, like, the little brochure, little flyers and things like that.
Yeah.
Not like the real parties and things like that. You know, the ratchet parties. And I guess what, I really have no problem. I'd rather go to the ratchet parties, to be honest. But I'm just saying, like, that wasn't Brit. And it was evident to the audience, to us, that, like,
you're putting on.
Yeah, you're putting on, and that may have doomed you of coming back for next season, in my opinion. Because I'm like, I don't want to see no scenes with Brit no more. You know.
And Angela said Brit gave her an XL, but apparently she must have got that confused with the toothbrush for her big mouth.
Oh, Angela, she leave her alone now. She throwing in the white towel.
Now, Shamea regrets her reaction to the lapdog conversation. Drew said the energy that she's giving off is seeming like it's coming from an issue that Porsha has with her, and that is very lapdog behavior.
Yeah.
Shamea said that, well, it's crazy for Drew to point that out because she's got the same situation going on with Angela, to where Angela is her lapdog. And she says maybe she wants me to sit on her lap. And I'm just like, oh, just the hole she's digging for herself is hurting my feelings. I'm just like, Shamea, stop.
Please.
Oh, please stop. Yeah, I'm just like, Angela is not Drew's lapdog. She was trying to look out for Drew in that situation. Yeah. And because pretty much y'all coming at Drew unnecessarily. And then on top of that, you're still joking around putting yourself in the lapdog position. Stop doing that. Like,
here's
stop
the
doing
thing.
That to yourself.
If you want to be taken seriously, you have to be serious. So if you do not want to be called a lapdog or addressed as a lapdog, number one, delete that picture from 2001 off your Instagram.
Because Chris gonna use it now.
I'm gonna use it every time. Right? I'm gonna use it every time. Delete the picture. And guess what? I'm giving her a chance to delete it. Because every time that I use it, I delete it out of my profile.
Okay.
And I go back to get it every time.
She's gonna find you and block you.
So, so listen. So, like for example, when I used it for this, for the thumbnail, the episode that we just did,
yes.
I went to Instagram and I grabbed it again.
Yeah.
She needs to delete that picture,
okay.
right? Because I'm gonna keep using it for the rest of the season now. Number two, if you want to be taken seriously, be serious. You don't want to be a lapdog. Forget the whole. Well, you know what? Drew's is Angela's lapdog. Here's at the end of the day, stop.
Angela's Drew's.
Angela's Drew's lapdog. And it's like, first of all, stop it, right? You don't like being called a lapdog because hit dogs holler, right?
Yeah.
Number two, you can easily change the narrative by not barking, right? By not calling you a variation, but by not calling yourself a variation of Kelly's dog. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't laugh off the insult if it really hurts you. Because
we can tell it does.
Yes.
It's one thing to laugh it off and to be like, okay, it rolled off my back. It was what it was.
Yeah.
But clearly you're irritated and now you're making weird jabs about her song and singing her song to her and telling her lyrics is wrong.
Yeah.
So now we're getting weird with it.
Yeah. Listen, there's two types
Just
of
tell her stop calling me a lapdog.
There's cool people and there's people who are not cool, right? There is no middle line to that. And right now, Shamea, you are on the side of the not cool. You are now on the side of the spectrum to where it's like, ill, brother, ill, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, it's nasty now, you know?
Yeah, so Drew shut down the Dennis rumor.
Yeah.
She talks about how she's been singing since she was 13. She was signed to Babyface, to Def Jam, and Dennis has been professional with her the whole time they've worked together.
Yeah.
She called him to set the record straight, and in her eyes, he pretty much denied the Drew trying to sleep with him. And Shamea said, you know, the only thing that she had was the fact that she let the Dennis situation overshadow her talent and her music, and the music is actually good.
Yeah.
And Drew tells us the album was currently sitting at number 5 on the charts. The only thing I want to say about this, okay, maybe I got a few things to say about this.
No, go ahead.
The first thing I want to say is Dennis didn't quite deny it. He was just kind of saying Porsha be tripping, essentially. But I'm fine with Drew signing, moving on, because honestly, it's not something to get hung up on.
Yeah.
And Shamea, you and Porsha are the ones who are dragging this. I mean, Porsha specifically, because everybody she talks to, she's talking about Drew sitting on Dennis' hot dog.
Yeah.
Just like how she talked to Phaedra and filled her in on that when that's clearly not true.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Drew is just trying to work, and y'all are actually dragging the storyline, and it's actually not interesting anymore.
And truth of the matter,
like, y'all need to find something else to talk about.
And truth of the matter is, to correct what Shamea said, because you're right 100%, is that the whole Dennis thing is not overshadowing the art that Drew did. It's actually overshadowing y'all storyline.
It is. It really is.
The whole Dennis thing got nothing to do with Drew. Like, when we think of a Drew album and things like that, I actually listened to the album all the way through, and truth be told, I'm like, you know what, Drew, this is actually a good enough project that I can listen to it straight through. Yeah. Right? I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say it's the best album I ever heard. It's not.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Drew is one of the best singers I've ever heard. She's not. You know what I mean? But I can appreciate someone actually putting in work and actually having a finished product, and that's what Drew did, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, this is not overshadowing Drew work at all, because the work is out.
But I want to say, if we're talking about things overshadowing things, I mean, Shamea came in with some hard-hitting things about her life. And her sit down with Porsha and Ralph definitely put like a big smudge over
facts.
The person that I feel like I saw her presenting herself to be. And I will say, people can be complex, so I'm not like judging her that hard.
No, you're not.
But I'm saying that it did smudge her storyline a little bit, because it's just like, girl, like, what are y'all really doing? Sitting down with Ralph.
Yeah,
you know,
we have recency bias, right? So we're going to basically judge the last thing that we saw, right? And Blair, that's actually a great point that I did not think of. You was the rich woman on Real Housewives of Atlanta that had real issues that even your money couldn't solve.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That we were connecting to.
That some people was connecting to.
Yeah.
I can't speak for me, right? As a man. But I'm just saying the fact that you was relatable. And truth be told, hating on somebody is probably relatable to a lot of people too.
Yeah.
But what you said, Blair, was 100%, and I didn't think of it till you said it. Now, you started your whole journey on this show with basically talking about you want to have another child, and you want to talk about the hurdles that you got to go through with the children that you have now and things like that. You have a husband and things like that. Basically, an introduction that where you can actually stand alone and be independent.
Yeah,
you could be Shamea Morton
outside of
or whatever her last name
linked to
is.
Porsha.
100%.
Yeah.
And now when we saw you basically be a missionary for Porsha.
Oh, that's perfectly.
Right?
A missionary for Porsha.
Being
Goodness
a missionary
gracious.
for Porsha, right? Basically sitting there with Ralph as if like that have anything to do with you. Mind you, I haven't seen Porsha come to the house to check up on her, her niece.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If y'all want to call yourself sisters. All these scenes that you are doing for Porsha, I never seen a scene, at least not yet. Maybe you did. Maybe they cut it out. I ain't gonna put it on. I haven't seen Porsha stick her neck out for you and basically, hey, I'm here praying for your girl, a phone call here, because according to Porsha, in order for me to show my real self, they gotta pay me more.
Wow.
So it's like you kind of did sabotage yourself and overshadow your own story by being a missionary for Porsha. And whole time when you was over there barking like a dog sitting next to Porsha, you know what Porsha was doing? She was cringing like me. Her head was down, looking down. She wasn't. Guess what? A real friend, at least me. If my friend was called a lap dog and things like that, and yes, I don't want my friend to be barking, but if my friend is sitting next to me and they are barking, guess what I'm doing right next to them? We both barking up in this country club.
And we laughing and hollering
because
and all that
at the end of the day, it's embarrassing, and I'm embarrassed for you, but I ain't going to leave you out there by yourself. I'm about to start barking too.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But guess what? Porsha left you out there to bark by yourself because humans don't bark. Only dogs bark. Whew. Shamea, I'm disgusted. I ain't going to hold you. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Listen here. I need y'all to watch this review, watch the actual review of the show, and also we're doing a show called Couples Therapy on Showtime, right? It's a great show, right? We already got 2 episodes out on it. We're going to do more this upcoming week and things of that nature. I think it would be a great show. I think y'all would like it, and let me know if y'all like it. If y'all don't like it, it's cool. You ain't got to watch it, but give it a chance, and we will be reviewing that. That's it.
That's all.
Yep, we see y'all.
Bye.